20 minutes, exactly. That's how long it took me to put on this face. You know, wherever I go, people always ask me about my makeup, my hair, my clothes, how I manage to dress for so many occasions, and where do I get the time and the energy to do it all. Well, during more than 30 years in show business, I've had the privilege of working with some of the most gifted makeup artists and fashion designers around. So, taking the best from each of them, I have come up with a system of my own for beauty and fashion. Now, since so many people have asked me how it's done, I've decided to share my secrets with you. The simple, quick, and inexpensive tricks I've picked up along the way that can help you bring out the best in you. Whoever we are, there's one thing we all have in common. We're all getting a little bit older every day. But growing older does not have to mean giving up on life, resigning yourself to the drab, the dull, the saggy, to the world of the blahs. At any age, attitude is the real key to beauty. A healthy curiosity, a sense of self-confidence, and enthusiasm for life. All these things can keep a woman feeling and looking young, no matter what the numbers say. And a few simple tricks of the trade can help you enhance all that natural beauty you've already got. Let's face it, change is the essence of life. Without change, we don't grow. But if you accept the changes in yourself and adopt the styles in makeup and fashion that are best for you at your own stage in life, then beauty, unlike youth, can last forever. In this video, I'll show you how to do it. First, we'll talk about makeup. And then I'll give you some tips about clothes. And as we go through the tape, use the pause button whenever you wish. Set the counter button of your player at 0 at the start of the tape, and as you watch the tape, make a note of the counter reading at the start of each section. In this way, you can easily go back through the tape and review any of the sections as many times as you wish. Now, this wouldn't be a beauty and fashion video without me changing outfits, would it? So, give me just a second, and I'll be right back. You know it's the same with all of us. When you present yourself to the world, you project who you are, your personality, your beauty through your face. So it's essential to the image you project to give your face all the help that it can get. Since your skin is the canvas on which your face will be painted, if you want it to look great, you've got to begin with the basics, by looking after your skin. Our model Carol here will show you how it's done. Water, and lots of it, is the best thing in the world for your skin, at any age. And by that I mean water both inside and out. Try to make a regular habit of drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water each day, and make water the beginning and the end of your cleansing routine. Now you notice that Carol is not using soap. My mother, at the age of 88, had really wonderful skin, and she never used soap. In her opinion, even the best soaps and cleansers could be harsh on your skin, and she always felt that unless they're thoroughly rinsed off, they can actually cause wrinkles. Since Carol's skin is basically dry, a light cleanser is really all she needs. But Linda here has oily skin. She might want to use a mild astringent to get off the oil. I personally would avoid using a scrub, even with oily skin. Removing the outer layer of the skin can lead to dryness and scaling and give the appearance of aging. Now, here's another secret I learned from my mother. As a final step, splash a lot of cold water all over your face. The colder, the better. Cold water acts as an astringent, closing up the pores, and it hydrates your skin, setting it up for moisturizing. Oh, by the way, when I'm on the go, I keep all the makeup essentials I'm likely to need in here. You see, I have got so many things, and by the way, this was a gift to me from a wonderful makeup artist in Nashville named Joyce Daniel. And I've got everything in here but the kitchen sink, honestly. I've got my moisturizing oil, which I take from a larger bottle and put in this little one for easier carrying. I have double stick tape. This is something you really want because you can keep your dress closed with it, you can keep your shoulder pads in with it. It's a miracle. I have my moist rouge, I have powder, I have applicators, I have my eyelash curler, And I have got a pencil sharpener for 2 different size pencils. And I have got all kinds of brushes for eyeshadow, for lipstick. I have a powder puff. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? I have an emery board. And in this little compartment, which is absolutely fabulous, I have a small mirror, which is magnifying on one side, always that magnifying mirror. I also have false eyelashes. And you know what? This whole kit cost me less than $30. But we were talking about moisturizers, weren't we? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I've got to get some of that stuff in the tiny bottle that cost a fortune. Relax. Here's what I use. Just an odorless bath oil that you can buy at the drugstore. It's a trick I picked up many years ago from a wonderful makeup man on the Brady Bunch named Hal Lilly. Now, this particular oil is very thin and light, and it really works wonders. It locks the moisture into your skin and seals your makeup so it stays on forever. Oh, by the way, I try never to put any product on my face that contains perfume, because perfume contains alcohol, and alcohol will dry out your skin. Now, before we go on to makeup, let's go over the key points about preparing your face. Drink 6 to 8 glasses of water each day. Clean your face with a mild cleanser. Avoid harsh soaps, cleansers, and scrubs. Splash on cold water before moisturizing. And use a good bath oil as a moisturizer. When it comes to moisturizing, it's important to know your skin. If you have very oily skin like Linda, you may need to moisturize only the dry area under your eyes and the cheekbone. And if you have normal skin with a few oily patches, simply avoid over-moisturizing those areas. Typically the T-zone, your forehead, your nose, and your chin. Okay? So now that the skin is clean and moisturized, be sure to wash your hands. And we're ready to have some fun putting on the face. Before we start, though, I would like to tell you how I became so interested in doing my own makeup. About 21 years ago, before we started the Brady Bunch, I was asked to come down to Paramount Studios to do a screen test for Carol Brady. So they took me to the makeup room of the Star Trek set. And this makeup man didn't know me, and he started putting on a makeup that was so far removed from anything that I would wear, and he gave me very long eyelashes, and I was so unhappy, I didn't know what to say. So that's when I decided to learn how to do my own makeup, and I would like to share that with you right now. In picking a place to do your makeup, choose a spot where you can easily see those little flaws in your face that might need some extra help. Well, I like to find a place that's near a window, even if it's a dining room table, and set my mirror up there. Or I'll pick a new place in the house, just for a change, for a little variety. Whatever makes me feel good. I personally recommend using a magnifying makeup mirror. The truth may hurt at first, but there's no better way to find those little spots that need extra help. After a while, you'll wonder how you manage to live without it. If you want to look your best, it's essential to make friends with your face. Take a good look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Take stock of your strengths and weaknesses, the assets you want to emphasize, and the liabilities you want to disguise. My husband, John, is a psychotherapist, and he always tells his patients, you can never cure anything with a lie. Well, that's certainly true when it comes to makeup. You have to be honest if you really want to improve your look. And speaking of honesty, where cosmetics are concerned, less is definitely more. Nothing does more to age a face than that heavy, painted look. And nothing does more to make a woman look youthful than glowing, natural-looking skin. So throughout your makeup routine, keep that aim in mind. Keep it light and keep it natural, so the real you can come through. You may have noticed that as time goes by, your skin tone changes. It tends to grow paler and to become uneven. But a base or foundation which matches your skin tone will even out the color. Apply it everywhere on your face. This is the background for the artistry to come. I can't emphasize enough that the most important word in makeup is blending. If your foundation and the other cosmetics to follow are not well blended, you'll wind up with visible lines of color, or even worse, hard edges at the side of your face that are really terribly aging. Remember, you're not covering up the skin here, but lightly camouflaging flaws and color inconsistencies. Now, if you happen to be one of the lucky women with even, uniformly toned skin, you may not need a foundation at all. Less, you remember, is more. To cover problem areas such as dark circles under the eyes or the lines around the mouth, use a concealer, a half shade to a shade lighter than your skin tone. Start just under the dark or puffy area and work upwards and out, applying it sparingly and blending it well. Then, without looking down, dab some powder right under here. By not looking down, the concealer stays out of the creases and the look is more natural. Now we can start to get creative and really have some fun, using the magic of makeup to subtly shape the face, to bring out its potential for beauty. Because Carol here has a fairly full face, she may wish to enhance her cheekbones. Suck in your cheeks a little. See, right there? And she may also want to shadow this just a little bit to give a little more definition to her chin and her jawline. And here's how she does it. She uses a little darker foundation and with upward motions blends it into her cheeks. This gives a sense of subtle shading, making her cheekbones stand out and, incidentally, lifting her whole face. This lifting effect is very important because it seems to be one of the laws of physics that gravity keeps trying to drag us down. And every year it seems to tug a little harder, bending us over, making us sag here and there. But fortunately, there are tricks we can use to combat the work of gravity, to give us the lift we need to keep that youthful look. One of those tricks is to always keep your motions upward when you apply your makeup, a simple technique that tends to lift and lighten your face. I recommend using a little cream rouge to add color to your cheekbones right here. And also, I use a little rouge here on the forehead and a little on the chin and just under here. It gives a little highlight, just as Carol is doing. Now, this tape is called Looking Great, Feeling Great, and the two do go hand in hand. So throughout the tape, I'll be pointing out a few simple exercises you can do while you're at the office or doing other things. There's no need to wait till we get to the gym to get in some exercise. Here's one you can try while you're putting on your makeup. Instead of bending over to look into the mirror, bring the mirror up to eye level. See what it does for Carol's posture? And good posture is a big part of beauty at any age. Oh, by the way, here's a trick I do as a way to relax and get a foot massage while I put on my face. My daughter Barbara gave this to me and I just love it. Well, it's a Chinese invention. They've been using it for thousands of years. Try it. I think you'll like it too. If you can't find one, you can use a rolling pin, a baseball bat, you know, anything that rolls and moves like that. Now take a moment here, press your pause button, and try it. Now to set the makeup, another little secret from my kit. Men's talcum powder, straight from the drugstore and inexpensive. A light brushing of this translucent powder will help hide Carol's wrinkles. But whatever powder you use, be sure it's matte, not metallic. Metallics only exaggerate lines. That's it, put it all over. Now, let's review our makeup routine so far. Pick a well-lighted spot, one that makes you feel good. Use a magnifying mirror. Keep makeup light and natural. Use a foundation which matches your skin tone. Use a concealer 1/2 to 1 shade lighter. Use a cream rouge to add color. Brush on a light powder overall. Be sure to blend every step. And combat gravity by applying makeup in an upward motion. So now that we put on the basic face, all of which took maybe 10 minutes, we're ready to work on the eyes. I think our eyes are one of our greatest assets, and perhaps no single feature can do more to enhance a woman's beauty or to make her look more dramatic. And the best place to start is with eyeshadow. Now, with eyeshadow, we can begin to get a little more adventurous. And if there's any area that invites adventure, it certainly is our eyes. Now, here's Sylvia, who has beautiful salt and pepper hair, and I think we should do something to make her eyes stand out a little more because they just kind of blend in there. So what I would start with is a light pink eyeshadow, and I would put it over the entire eyelid, from the corner all the way out to the outer part of the eyelid and all the way up to the brow. And this gives us a basic foundation there for the eyelid, which allows us to blend better. And remember what I told you about blending, and that is the most important thing. Then I will go to a darker shade, plum or taupe, anything in that family, or maybe even a warm blue would look very nice. So, Sylvia, I'm going to put a little darker shadow, which is plum, right here. Now, this bone and this little piece of flesh is what closes Sylvia's eye. So what we want to do, remember, darker shades recede and lighter shades bring out. So that's what we want to do. We want to try to recede this area here. So open. Let me see that. See how much warmer that is? And then we might, if we really want it to be adventuresome, we might add just a little blue right here, just above the lid. Now let me see. Beautiful. Now you might want to press your pause button here and try it. For a night out with my husband, which might call for something dramatic, I might mix up 3 or 4 colors of eyeshadow, but generally I use only a couple. During the day, it's wise to stay with the soft and subtle. As you get older, it's best to stick to the matte eyeshadows. The metallics or iridescents are okay when you're in your 20s, but they will call attention to the folds and all those little tiny lines around your eyes. And to flatter your eyes, avoid those awful greens. I've never seen them look good on anyone. Go with the natural browns, the soft blues, the grays, the plums, colors like that. And I would never put white above my eyes. Well, Sylvia, your eyes are looking very good. But I want to talk to Sylvia about her posture. She's starting to slouch, and you know, we've talked about posture and how important it is at any age, but it really does make you look older when you have bad posture, and it's painful. I want to teach you a little exercise that will not only help your back, help you sit straighter, but also will help your stomach. And how I found out about this, I had a terrible lower back pain, and I went to my doctor, and he said, show me how you sit in a chair, Florence, for instance, when you do your makeup. So I showed him, and I was sitting with my rear end tilted backwards, which was putting a terrible strain on my lower back and giving me that pain. So he told me to tilt my lower back forward, tilt my pelvis forward, tighten my stomach, and automatically the rest of your spine straightens. And it feels so much better. You can't imagine. Also gives you a flatter tummy and smaller hips. Now, while you're sitting there, why don't you just push the pause button and try it? Now let's get back to our face. It's very important to get to know your face, its strengths and weaknesses, so you can make those little adjustments that can really enhance your look. So we've added some allure to the eyes with eyeshadow, and we're ready to set off the eyes with eyeliner. Eyeliners are a lot of fun to work with. I always carry around several inexpensive pencils in my kit. I have got brown, I've got brown black, I've got purple, green, and blue. And these are so much fun to work with, really. But a word of advice, heavy brown or black eyeliner is out. It's strictly passé. Contrary to popular opinion, it can actually make your eyes look smaller, and we don't want to do that. I find the liner pencils are preferable to the liquids because they can easily be smudged with an applicator for a softer look around the eye. And on top of that, the liquid tends to get into the tiny lines around the eye and accentuate them. And none of us need more lines around our eyes. Now, this is really important. When you put on the eyeliner, come as close to your eyelash as possible, using short, soft strokes that follow the curve of the eye. I put on the darkest color first, then maybe a brown black, a blue, or a very delicate purple. Sometimes I'll put 2 or 3 on at once and blend it out at the top, just to create a nice, soft illusion. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try all kinds of colors, see how they look. And if you don't like the result, you can always take it off and try another one. An eyelash curler can be very useful to make your lashes look longer and to give them the shape that you wish. Carol's lashes tend to grow down, making her eyes look smaller. And also, when your lashes grow down, you can get mascara on your bottom lid, and you certainly don't want that. So by curling them up, she can create the effect of opening up her eyes. For a good lasting curl, get as close to the base of the eyelash as possible and hold it there for a few seconds. I always use the eyelash curler after I've applied my eyeliner because it works better that way. It's easier to get the eyeliner on before your lashes are curled. And if you do take a little eyeliner off, just reapply some, okay? And remember, while you're working on your eyes, you can also work on your posture with some very simple exercises. Now, if you look at the way Carol is sitting, all right, I'm going to give you a very simple exercise because this eventually is going to give you a terrible pain in your neck, okay? So, Carol, I want you to look at me and just watch what I do for a minute. I'm going to take my chin and I'm just going to push it back like this and hold it for a few seconds. So this is a very simple exercise that will help you eliminate pain at the same time. And in the middle of your makeup, just stop for a few seconds and just do that. And immediately your back straightens up. It's a wonderful exercise. You can do it also while you're driving the car, sitting in a chair, at the desk, whatever. And then if we move down just a little, I want to give you an exercise for your buttocks, okay? You just tighten those buttocks very tightly. Just feel them pull in as tightly as you can and hold it for about 10 counts, okay? And then you release that. Now do the same thing with your stomach. Sit up straight, pull in your stomach. Keep breathing, and if you can, also hold your stomach in at the same time, and then release. And you can do that a few times during the day. Believe me, you will feel lighter and better, and it takes very little effort. Now, press your pause button here and try it. Now, before we go on, let's go over the points we've covered so far about eye makeup. Use matte eyeshadows in soft, natural colors. Use eyeliner pencils, also in soft colors. Blend your eyeshadow and eyeliner for a softer look. And use an eyelash curler for longer looking lashes. And now let's get back to the eyes. We've curled the lashes and we're now ready for a little mascara. You might want to use a colored mascara for fun at night, but do be cautious with the strong shades. I personally like a brown black. I never wear a black. I think it makes the eyes look very harsh. Now you apply it to the upper and the lower lash with quick, short strokes. Oh, and here's a tip. You've probably noticed that the bottom lash always runs, leaving big, dark circles under your eyes. Well, here's how to avoid that. Before you look down, just touch a tissue lightly under the bottom lash, and that takes off any extra mascara, and it doesn't get on your lower lid. Now, if you want a thicker look, put on a coat, let it dry, and then you add a little powder. Now, this is an old trick, but it's one that really works. And after you do that, then you add another coat of mascara. The result, thick lashes. And by the way, you can do this as many times as you like, depending on how thick you want your lashes to look. Now, you'll hear various opinions about false eyelashes, but I happen to think they're a lot of fun, and they do dramatize the eye. So you just take a little liquid adhesive and you put it on the rim of the eyelash with a toothpick, and then you just kind of bend the eyelash very gently to the shape of the eye. And then you place it on very close to your own eyelash, as close as you can. Just press it down. You know, good eyelashes don't have to be expensive, and I find that the more you use them, the better they get. Time makes them softer and more natural. Again, I prefer brown black, not black, for a lighter look. Getting them on may seem a little awkward at first, but when you get used to it, it's real easy. Like everything else in life, if you practice, you get good at it, okay? And eyelashes are a very subtle way to enhance your eyes, and if you can wear them, you don't need as much mascara. Now, what do we do about our eyebrows? Well, to begin with, I think you have to forget those thin, penciled-in eyebrows. They're really out, and they'll only make you look a lot older. Your brows should be as thick and natural as possible if you want to look youthful, and I think we all do. So pick a color that is consistent with your own hair color. If you have light hair color, don't use a real dark brow enhancer. So I'm using one that is fairly close to my natural color hair, and I'm just putting it on with a little brush. And I start in here, and you take it out to the outer edge. Now I have thin eyebrows, and you don't want to put this ever above the brow. You always want to keep anything that you do on the brow and just below it. And another little trick that I will give you, that I will share with you, if you want, you can take your little brush, and by the way, if you have an old toothbrush, clean it well. You can also use that. And you brush your eyebrows backwards like this. And then you spray a little hairspray on your brush, your toothbrush, whatever you're using, and then you bring it back to the eyebrow and bring them back into position. And it does give a fuller brow, and it also stays there all day long. It really is a nice effect. The overall effect is sheer, soft, and natural. Beautiful eyes in less than 5 minutes. There you are, Sylvia's eyes and Carol's. Now, before we forget, let's go back and review these final few steps to beautiful eyes. Use a brown-black mascara. Stay away from black. Match false eyelashes to the size and color of your own lashes. Use an eyebrow enhancer for thicker, more natural brows. And don't be afraid to experiment. Makeup can go a long way toward making your eyes and your face attractive. But there's a secret ingredient to beauty that only you can supply. And that is the glow that shines from deep inside you. A smiling face, a cheerful disposition can make any woman beautiful at any age. And building on a sense of self-assurance, the simple secrets of makeup can help to bring out all the natural beauty inside you. So, now that we've enhanced the natural beauty of our eyes, there's one more important feature that needs attention, and that's the mouth. Along with your eyes, your mouth can be one of your most alluring features. But especially as we get older, it needs special care to bring out its beauty. A lip moisturizer is a very good idea, especially if you're out in the cold or the sun. And guess what? I always carry a tube in my bag. It adds a wonderful sheen and protects your lips at the same time. See? And like most things for your face, it's inexpensive. I find it's best to put on lip color last, after I've done my eyes. Of all the makeups for your face, lip color is the least lasting. And if you do your lips first, you run the risk of brushing your lips with your hand while you're working on your eyes and messing up the whole face. And choose a color that's right for you, something natural, not too bright. I sometimes use 2 colors on my lips, with the darker color on the outside and the lighter one on the inside. The idea is to give the impression of full, moist lips. Just as with eyebrows, thin lips will make you look older, while full lips do just the opposite. Notice that Carol is using a lipstick brush. I know, a lot of women think that's too hard, but watch, nothing to it. After a few times it becomes easy, and you'll never want to use lipstick again without it. It not only gives you a straighter line, but it goes on lighter and stays on longer. As for liner pencils, my advice is to forget them. They can too easily accentuate a bad mouth and work against that full, natural look you're after. Now let's go over those lip tips again. Use lip moisturizer, especially in the cold or the sun. Use a soft, natural lip shade and apply it with a brush. Now we've got on our face, our eyes, and our lips. So we're done, right? Not quite. Here's a real secret that not many women know about, and it's one I wouldn't be without. It's called Toast, and all the makeup artists I've worked with swear by it. It's just a light matte powder, and you take a brush, And you just put a little bit under the eye and in the creases around the mouth. And make sure you blend it in. If you've got deep-set eyes like I do, it will give you a lift without weighing down your face. Now, if you have difficulty finding toast, you can get a little compact just like this at the drugstore. Use a shade 2 to 3 shades lighter than your base for highlights. Next, I put on a little dry rouge with a brush. Just a bit on the cheeks, the cheekbone, right there, the forehead. Choose a natural, healthy color. Darker complexions can use a reddish or plum tone, but lighter complexions should stick with clear pinks, peaches, or roses. Try to use a good quality brush and move along the cheekbones from the center of the eye out toward the hairline. And there we are. In 20 minutes, you will have a face that will last you all day and throughout the evening, too. If you want to freshen up your makeup during the day at the office, throw a few essentials into a little kit like this. Some mascara, some blush, some lipstick, don't forget your lipstick brush, and a highlighter. The kit will keep them all in one place so they're not rolling around in the bottom of your purse. Oh, aren't we forgetting something? That's right, the hands. After all, our hands are an important part of the image we present to the world. After you've washed the makeup from your hands, it's a very good idea to put on a sunscreen. As we all know by now, the sun can do frightening things to our skin, but it's never too late to fight back. I use a product with a sun protection factor of 15 to 23 and apply it to any area that may be exposed during the day, and that includes my face. You know, many makeup products today contain sunscreen, and makeup itself is a good protection against the sun and dust and pollutants in the air. But be cautious of products that can cause a serious allergic reaction. In fact, whenever you're buying makeup, especially products containing perfume, test the product on a small area of your skin first to make sure you're not allergic to it. Now, the skin on your hands is very thin, and it can easily dry and crack. So use a good moisturizer, and not just in the morning. I always carry one in my purse, and I use it whenever I need it during the day. As we get older, many of us find discolored spots on our hands and arms. Well, my mother had a secret remedy for that. She would take an aloe plant, break off a leaf, and just rub it on her skin. And the spots would seem to just disappear. It's also great for healing fever blisters that we get from too much sun, and you can pick up one of these at any plant store. Now, if for any reason you can't find an aloe plant, you can buy commercial formulas that will bleach out the sunspots, but be sure to read the label first, and again, test the product before you use it. For camouflage, a good concealer can do the trick, evening out the color. After the concealer, you might want to dust on a little powder. And to protect your hands, make a habit of wearing gloves whenever you possibly can. Good rubber gloves are an absolute necessity for chores like dishwashing. And if you're gardening, wear garden gloves. And gloves can also be a wonderful accessory to your wardrobe, day or night. Because hot sun can age your skin, even through the windshield of a car. I wear gloves whenever I'm driving. A manicure can help you to care for your hands also. But unless you've got great nails like Carol, I would suggest you steer clear of bright-colored polish. Why draw attention to your defects? In general, a light, soft-colored polish will flatter your nails. Now, a quick review of the main points about hand care. Use a sunscreen whenever you plan to be out in the sun. Use plenty of moisturizer and keep it handy. Use concealer to cover sunspots. And protect your hands with gloves at every opportunity. So now your eyes, your face, and your mouth look great. But what can you do about your hair? Hair is a natural beauty enhancer, and it allows us endless options for self-expression. But like our skin, it ages too, growing weaker from the time we're around 20 years old. So good hair care is every bit as important as good skin care. When I wash my hair, I use a gentle pH balanced shampoo. Now, you don't need anything fancy. For example, here's another one of my mother's secrets. After shampooing, I sometimes rinse my hair with vinegar. Well, I came from a very big family. I'm the youngest of 10. And when I was growing up, that's what we always did. Now my daughter does it too. She thinks she discovered it. You can also use lemon juice in the same way. It works beautifully to get all the soap off your hair, leaving it clean and healthy. Now, I believe most women overcondition their hair, but once a month I use another one of my mother's remedies. I condition my hair with olive oil. As a matter of fact, the first time I used this, I forgot and put water on my hair before I did shampoo to take it off. Don't ever do that. I was walking around with olive oil on my head for weeks. Any good conditioner, however, will also do the job. Well, this is what I do. I leave the conditioner on, then I wrap plastic wrap all around my head, then I put a cute shower cap over that. Then I forget about it for a couple of hours while I work around the house, write letters, read a book, catch up on some phone calls. After washing it, I like to let my hair dry naturally. I use paper towels to remove excess moisture because they're far more absorbent than a regular towel. I just keep pushing the hair into shape until it's the way I want it. Oh, by the way, heat is terribly damaging to your hair, but you can minimize the damage with a diffuser on the blower. It spreads out the blast of air, reducing the heat in any one spot and avoiding the flyaway effect you get with a regular blower. A diffuser is especially valuable if you've got curly hair or a perm like mine. Now, coloring is a great option for your hair, especially as you grow older. I've been coloring my hair for so long that I'm not sure what color it is anymore. I know that originally it was blonde. Remember, coloring weakens your hair, so if you can, leave well enough alone. After all, gray hair, I think, can be very attractive, and hair that is silvery or white can be absolutely stunning. This is one of these cases where you need to take stock of your assets. If your graying hair suits your eye color and your skin tone, then think twice before reaching for the color. If you do decide to color, you've got three basic options. So-called permanent color, which stays in a long time but doesn't fade. Semi-permanent color, which washes out after a period of time. And highlights, which are also permanent. Any of these three can be done professionally in a salon or by you in your own home. I'd suggest that whatever you decide, you begin by having it done professionally. That way, a professional can help you choose colors, highlights, and methods to give you some of the tricks of the trade that you can use yourself if you switch to coloring at home. In choosing a color, go with the shade that looks the most natural. With pale skin, like mine, dark blonde can be flattering. More ruddy complexions should stick with soft browns, while olive skins may look best with soft browns with beige streaks. Avoid reds, golds, and henna looks. They're old-fashioned. Darker skin should stay in the browns and avoid the reds. As a general rule, for older, paler skin tones, lighter and warmer colors are more flattering than dark colors, which can appear harsh and aging. And lighter colors are better for thinning hair because they create the illusion of thickness. But be careful to avoid going too light because that can easily look fake. If hair color looks fake or extreme, it detracts from that one thing that is so important at any age, our ability to project the image of a confident, positive person who feels good about oneself and is ready for the future. Now let's review the key tips for hair care and coloring. Protect your hair from the sun. Use a gentle pH-balanced shampoo. Rinse with vinegar or lemon juice. Condition occasionally with olive oil or any professional conditioner. Use a diffusion blower. Choose a natural color that flatters your skin tones. When it comes to hairstyles, your options are wide open, and my advice is to take a few chances. Don't be afraid to experiment, to try something new for a change. Of course, you need to choose a style that fits your face and your lifestyle. So forget about trying to look like a teenager. It can only make you look silly or worse. The most important thing, I think, is a good cut, one you can look after yourself. Find a hairstylist who is willing to listen to you, who will give you the look you want. Any good hairstylist will want you to be happy because they want you to come back. Your ideal hairstyle depends on the shape of your face. One of the most common errors women make as they grow older is to wear their hair too long. See what it does to Janet? If left long and free, her hair tends to drag her face down. But why help gravity do its work? By lifting it up and back, she can maintain a soft and feminine look, and it appears as if her whole face was lifted. A short bob or a fluffy cap cut allows Carol to leave her hair loose and free and still have that upward anti-gravity look. As a general rule, any style, no matter what the length, that sweeps up or away from your face is bound to give you a more youthful, energetic look. Suppleness, flexibility, and softness are very important if you want that natural, youthful look. The glued, stiff, oversprayed look is very definitely dated and aging, as is the I give up perm that we see on so many older women. Now, what about wigs? I have a few and I just love them. There are times when a wig is an absolute lifesaver, and there are times when a wig is just fun. I like them because I can play with the options they have to offer. You can go ahead and take a few chances. Try a style or a color in a wig before trying it with your own hair. Fortunately, wigs today are better than ever, and they don't have to be expensive to look good. Generally, you can follow the same rules for color and style that you do for your hair. If you want to experiment, pick one with highlights or a longer or shorter style, but one that does the most to frame and flatter, not overpower your face. Many people also use wigs because of drastically thinning hair. If that's your case, you might try the new cutout wig designs. They're lighter weight, and they work with your natural hair to create that look of a fuller head of hair. Lots of options? You bet. Now let's go over the points we've covered about wigs and styling. Choose a cut you can maintain yourself. Pick any style that fits your lifestyle and your face. Choose a style that sweeps up and away from your face. Keep it soft, keep it simple and natural. And don't be afraid to experiment with styles and with wigs. As we all should know, the key to looking great goes way beyond makeup and hairstyles. It really depends upon self-acceptance, good health, and physical fitness. Now, any woman who is serious about getting in shape should start out with a credentialized fitness expert to work out an individualized program of exercises. But apart from that, there are many ways we can get exercise during the day, while we're working, playing, or just relaxing. Now, I've already pointed out a few. You remember when we were doing makeup, I showed you this one about pushing in your chin. Probably that is the best exercise in the world, that and holding in your stomach and breathing. So I'm going to give you another simple exercise. You just spread your feet about a foot apart. And what you're going to do is bend your knees. And we're not going to go too deeply because we don't want to do any injury to our knees. You do as much as you think is comfortable for you, and then gradually increase how deeply you go. So you hold your stomach in, tighten your buttocks, and you just bend the knees like this, standing straight with your chin in. Don't forget to breathe. That is one of the most important things that we can do. Now I'm going to show this to you sideways just so you can see how you have to pull in your stomach, you have to tighten your buttocks, and you can do this while you're talking on the telephone. You can do it while you're standing in line at the grocery store. Okay? It's just a simple exercise, but it really works wonders for your tummy and your buttocks. Now, why don't you press the pause button and try it? The value of exercise is that it improves circulation and blood flow, and this gets more important with age. It also helps to prevent bone brittleness and deterioration, a major problem of aging. With a few simple routines like this, you'll start to see an overall toning of your body and a glow to your complexion that was lacking. And we're not talking about a lot of work or time. I think walking is also a great form of exercise. You know, a good walk for more than 20 minutes at a brisk pace 4 times a week, plus some regular stretching and toning on the trouble spots, your stomach, legs, and arms, can be enough to see real results. And remember, you can practice good posture anywhere. Standing straight is an easy way to take off the years. It exudes self-confidence and grace. And it tells the world that you are glad to be you. Oh, and don't forget the most important exercise of all, to smile. It not only makes you feel good, it makes others feel good too. Now, all of us at various times and to varying degrees suffer from stress. And stress can make anyone feel tired and old. As we know, stress can be the root of many serious physical and emotional problems. Experts say that the problem is getting worse. Reducing the toll that stress can take on our lives is one of the most important things we can do. Let me show you a simple routine that works for me. An easy way to get rid of stress. You can do it almost anywhere and at any time of the day, and it only takes a few minutes. I call it the stay state for stress and tension alleviation. And this is Linda, and she's going to demonstrate for us as I talk us through it. All right, Linda, place yourself in a comfortable position. You can do this lying on the floor, the bed, or a couch with a pillow under your head. Now place your hands on your midsection, your hands not touching. You may also sit in a chair with your hands on your thighs and your head slightly forward. Now close your eyes and repeat silently to yourself everything that I say, just as if my voice were your voice. Now take 3 deep breaths. Now as you do this, you allow your concentration to move down to your feet. Now bring your concentration back up to your forehead. And once again, let your concentration move back down to your feet. Now bring your concentration back up to your forehead. Your concentration will now move to your hands, which are resting on your midsection or on your thighs. Concentrate on your hands feeling lighter and lifting until your hands feel like they are not touching your body. Now, as you inhale, you imagine your hands are moving up and away from your body with every breath that you take in. You will feel a tightness in your hands and forearms, feeling that the stress and tensions are leaving the body and moving into your hands and arms. As this takes place, your body is moving into a sleep-like state of relaxation, where your body is still and your mind is very concentrated. You are now developing total control of your mind and body, and the absence of stress from the body and the emotions is now becoming a habit. During this period of time, you may suggest to yourself the following words: my mind and my body are in total harmony. I like myself, and I am happier with myself each and every day. My goal is to be physically and emotionally healthy. I now draw my concentration back to my hands, and they will begin to move down to my body. When I feel the contact between my hands and body, I will say, let go. I am letting go. And the tightness and the tension will leave my hands and arms, and my body will begin to feel like I am in a relaxed, awake state. I will notice that my eyelids will want to remain closed, which is very normal for this relaxed state. But I will continue to lift and open them until they remain open. Now, each time you practice this stay state for stress and tension alleviation, you will relax more quickly and relieve tensions faster. It is your state. You own it. It belongs only to you. Learn to take a few minutes like this for yourself each day, regardless of what you are doing. You will find that when you regard yourself with importance, others will regard you in a more important way. It's not being selfish. It's just one more simple thing you can do to help to bring out the very best in yourself. Now take a moment here, press your pause button, and try it. Fashion is your opportunity for self-expression, a way to make a statement about yourself. Frankly, I don't believe there's such a thing as clothes for older people. How you dress reflects your attitude about who you are. In choosing your clothes, pay attention to your shape, not your age, and send out the message that you like yourself just fine and you're moving with grace and style into the future. A good place to start is with an honest evaluation. Take a good look at yourself in the mirror without your clothes, and look at both your front and your back, and size up your strengths and your weaknesses, the things you want to camouflage and the things you want to accentuate. Remember, maximize your assets, minimize your liabilities. This dress, for instance, I bought it on a whim. Mistake. It does nothing for me. You see, I've got a pretty small waist and a fairly decent bust, but you never know it in this outfit. But let me show you one that works much better. It emphasizes my assets. Now, as for slacks, don't think you have to give them up just because you're not as trim as you used to be. The key for any size at any age is fit. Make sure your slacks don't squeeze around the thighs or tuck under your buttocks. They should hang in a nice, soft line from the buttocks straight down to the hem. A good quality fabric will help the fit and the hang of the slacks. As many women grow older, their shoulders become more narrow. But shoulder pads can counteract that while creating the illusion of narrow hips. In addition, your clothes will hang better. In the same way, pleats and pants do wonders to hide the stomach, and clothes will be more slimming if they are solid colors or smaller prints rather than big, bold prints or plaids. I happen to like to wear all colors, but I've got a lot of black in my wardrobe. It's hard to go wrong with it. I can take this basic black dress and dress it up to make 6 or 7 outfits, just by using different tops or accessories. Let me show you. I can take this scarf, or any scarf, and put it around my neck and add a splash of color. It changes the look. Or I could even put it around my waist and make a nice little belt. There's many things you can do with it. So when you buy your clothes, keep that in mind. Get things you can mix and mingle. These will be the basic building blocks of your closet, not something weird you bought on a lark, but a few well-constructed pieces of good quality fabric that you'll want to wear over and over again. By shopping this way, you'll dramatically reduce your overall clothing budget. Now, before getting into more accessories, let's go over the main points about fashion again. Make fashion a positive expression of your self-image. Take stock of your strengths and weaknesses. Choose clothes which flatter your best features and camouflage the rest. Choose a few pieces of quality, versatility, and good fit. And build your basic wardrobe around these. By the way, a box like this is a wonderful thing. My husband gave it to me. He decorated it himself and everything. Actually, it's a carpenter's kit. It would hold normally nails and bolts and things like that. But it's a great idea for putting your earrings and your pins in. And if you're a sewer, you can put things that you need to sew in here. I love it because normally things wind up in the back of my drawers and I never seem to wear them. This way I can see everything, and it's very colorful too on your dresser. Now, let's get back to black. Whenever I wear black, I always put a splash of color near my face. Earrings, a scarf, a necklace. Once again, feel free to experiment. A good way to test colors is with accessories. And accessories don't have to bust your budget, especially since costume jewelry is more in today than the real thing. Scarves, belts, jewelry, hats, they all add excitement and flair to your wardrobe and make an otherwise tired outfit come to life. When you're shopping, keep your look in mind, the fashion statement that's right for you. But don't deprive yourself of an occasional fling. Now and then it's good for all of us to get something completely offbeat, just for the fun of it. Now, just as important as putting on your makeup is taking it off. At the end of the day, no matter how late it is or how tired you are, be sure to remove your makeup properly. And before cleaning your face, make sure your hands are clean. Instead of soap, try using a good cleansing cream or cleansing oil and wipe it off with tissue. You might want to do this 3 or 4 times. That's what I do. Sometimes I'll use a hot washcloth to give myself a quick facial spa. Then I splash on a lot of cold water and follow with a moisturizer. Now, it's important to remember in everything you do to your face, particularly with skin that is older and thinner, not to pull it this way and that. Always treat it gently by patting it dry and patting on creams rather than rubbing them in. The end of the day is also a good time to work on your cuticles. I like to rub a little Vaseline on my cuticles to soften them up while I sleep. A script lady I know puts Vaseline on her hands once a month, then sleeps with gloves on. It's a great beauty treatment for her hands, and I'm sure it'll work for you too. So, now you know my secrets for beauty and fashion, the things I've learned along the way, the things that work for me. But there's really no secret about it. To look great at any age, a woman merely needs to know who she is, to accept herself and make the most of it. Let all of that confidence shine through your eyes and the warmth of your personality. As an actress, rehearsals have always been a big part of my life. And the more I rehearse, the better I become at playing a role. Well, it's just the same for you. Your mind will help you become what you rehearse. Remember, it's always within your grasp to be the best that you can be. And beauty is not looking good for your age. It's looking your best at any age. So rewind and review the segments of the tape as many times as you wish to. And don't forget to refer frequently to the checklist until the tips mentioned here become part of your daily routine. And most of all, enjoy your look and your life. You deserve it.